Hi, Justin.
Hey, Lindsay.
This is pretty wild.
Are you ready?
Hello, cuties, and welcome to this emergency episode. Justin and I were like, we had to call an emergency meeting to discuss all the Vanderpump drama that has been coming out this week. I don't know if you guys know, but we record on Mondays. We release our episodes on Wednesdays. And by Wednesday, like 50 other things had already come out about it that we just didn't feel like we did the story justice. So here we are on a Friday, just like giving you a quick 20, 30-minute rundown of what's been happening. How are you doing, Justin?
Quick update. Honestly, as we were recording it on Monday, we knew more things were happening. And then as we released the episode on Wednesday, more things were happening. And literally, I was talking to a coworker about this drama. And I said, I never knew one pop culture event will consume so much of my time.
So much of my time. No, okay, that's funny. You're talking about, I also talked to my direct report, my manager. And she's a Bravo stan. Like she watches all of things. And she had said to me, she's like, this is like a cultural reset. Like everyone remembers where they were when they found this news out. And I was like, you are so correct. This did culturally reset. Like we all needed this collectively to come together because we are all on the same page here. Like no one is Team Raquel. So it's like this, we came together as a community, really. Like the first thing we've all agreed on in years. So, thank you, Tom and Raquel, for this.
The dramatics behind that statement is unparalleled.
Well, it is.
But like we will all remember. It's like, I mean, I can only think of very sad things that I'm like, oh yeah, we all remember when we found out this news. So do you think it's at that level?
Yeah.
Like, we will all know where we were at when we found out that Raquel.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not all of us. Like, I know Gonzo will not like remember anything about this in maybe 1 month, but like to the people that know, they will remember for their whole lives.
Scandoval.
This drama. It's almost at the same. It's like not at the same level because they're like not the same level of celebrities, but it's kind of in the same realm of like when Brad Pitt left Jennifer Aniston for like Angelina Jolie, or the Hailey Selena Bieber stuff. Like this is fucking nuts.
To be honest, so I keep up with more of like the Hailey Bieber, Selena, Justin Bieber realm. This is taking up way more of my Instagram feed, like everything. I think this is even, it seems as though it's even bigger news than that. Like it's very much overshadowing.
Yeah, and thank God, because how tired are we of that narrative? Like we've got to move on from that like we were given this gift.
It's a gift.
Truly.
I'm sure Ariana doesn't. Oh no, Ariana probably will in time.
Ariana will. She will in time. Time will tell that this is a precious gift Ariana was given.
Yeah. And if any of our listeners have not looked at our Instagram and the beautiful piece of artwork that we developed. When Lindsay texted me, I was on a night shift and she's like, oh my God, should we write or have Chat GPT write a letter from Ariana to Raquel and Scandoval? And I was like, that is pure genius. So I remember the first time I typed it or like typed up the prompt, it was very boring. It was way too nice. I was like, this ain't it. And I was like, a nasty letter.
I know. Okay, thank you for explaining that because when I texted you, like inspiration had struck and I was like, this needs to happen immediately. To be fair, I had seen someone else had like posted Chat GPT an apology letter from Raquel.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Like, that's what should happen. But like a thank you letter is so much more inspired and creative.
Oh my God.
And I don't understand how we're not viral. So can you guys all please go share my thank you letter? Like we need to get viral with this. This is the time.
Please share it. I think it was well said. The line
off of that.
The line in like the second paragraph where it was like something about falling on or something like that. I have to pull it up. Because that was the line
Please read that line.
I freaking cried because I was like, this is too freaking perfect. Okay, it was
It's
the
so
line.
savage. If you guys haven't read it, you have to go read it.
This was pure genius. Tom, I always thought you were my ride or die, but it turns out you were just looking for a ride on Raquel's well. Like, who knew ChatGPT was so petty?
ChatGPT, you're a fucking savage, ChatGPT. I love this for you. No, and you know, like it learns from what people are putting in. So I love that, like, collectively we have taught ChatGPT that beautiful line, and that was delivered to us. Pettiness. Yeah, you know, pettiness is a form that ChatGPT just needed to learn, and here it is.
I was legit in my office just crying, laughing at this letter, and I was like, this is gold. Absolute gold.
Yeah, it's so good. You guys have to read it if you haven't read it. I promise it's worth the 2-minute read. Okay, all right, so let's get into it because there's so much. Where should we start?
So I think the last thing we mentioned was everything happening. We kind of mentioned Raquel coming out with her PR, what she plans on doing about playing the dumb card and the innocent card, which, just speaking to her PR team, supposedly they fired her.
I mean, they have to, because now it's bad PR for them.
Yeah, you know, like, because her stories weren't adding up. Like, the supposed black eye isn't actually a black eye. So supposedly she got, because like allegedly, she had their email address on her Instagram account of like, this is who you should contact. And then like now that's down. So reportedly they were like, you're too much of a hot mess. We're done.
Yeah. Okay. So since we talked about the ChatGPT thank you letter, let's start with the letters.
Yes. The letters that everybody's
that Raquel put out and the statement that Scandoval put out.
Yes.
So the first statement that was put out was by Scandoval, and it was just focused on his businesses. He was like, don't take this out on my businesses. Never once did he even mention any remorse or like any apology to Ariana. Obviously, the internet went up in flames about this and was like, this is pathetic. Like, this is not, yes, this is important, but this is not what you start with.
Exactly.
What did you think about his first statement?
Well, okay, so this is us looking at it from the outside in. For all we know, he might have apologized personally. I doubt it. But
no.
Here I am trying to give this person the benefit of the doubt when probably that isn't needed.
Yeah. No. He's just a narcissist to the nth degree. Like, it is really scary that there are people out there like this. Okay, so that was his first statement. No one appreciated it, obviously. I do understand why he said it, though. His businesses do, like we said in our episode, it just involves so many more people than just him. And like, by going on and just putting a 1-star Yelp review, sure, like, that's us being petty on our side, where like, you don't realize that that's also going to affect all the workers, all the like servers, the barbacks, like the cooks, the chefs, everyone that's employed by these businesses may now lose out on jobs. So you have to also like take that into consideration. And also, like, that's not, Ariana's smart. Ariana's a good person. She doesn't need that extra weight added to her conscience of like, now I'm getting all these people are out of jobs because of a situation about me, you know? So maybe just like think twice before you write on their like company's Instagram or on their Yelp. You can just not support in your own private way. I'm sure the people that are writing these reviews have never even gone to these establishments and are just doing it for fun. So
trolling.
You have to take that into consideration. Yeah, it's trolling. So Tom put out that statement. Then he finally put out a statement apologizing to Raquel or to Ariana. It's not really a great statement. Doesn't seem genuine. Seems like it was written by a PR team.
Yeah. I actually haven't read that one. I haven't read that one.
Okay. Let me pull it up. And then Raquel also put out a statement where she talked about going to therapy, which, I mean, thank you, Raquel, for doing that. But the things that she was writing in her letter, it's like, oh, you found that out in one therapy session? Like, how many therapy sessions have you been to prior?
Yeah.
Okay. So should I just like read Tom's full statement?
Let's what does he say?
Okay. This was 3 days ago. So on Wednesday or Tuesday, maybe. Okay. I want to first and foremost apologize to everyone I've hurt through this process. Most of all, I want to apologize to Ariana. I made mistakes, I was selfish, and made reckless decisions that hurt somebody I love. No one deserves to feel that pain so traumatically and publicly. I can only imagine how devastating this has been for Ariana and everyone around us. I feel really horrible about that. My biggest regret is that I dishonored Ariana. I never meant to disappoint so many people, including our loving families and friends. My love for Ariana was stronger than any camera could have ever captured. Some of our best times together were never filmed. The same goes for some of our biggest struggles. I wish things happened in a different color or a different order and our relationship was not severely tarnished, and that it ended with the same respect for her that it began with. I owed Ariana better. I am beyond sad that it ended the way it did. He's so annoying. The choices I made hurt so many people. I acted in a way that clashes with who and how I want to be. I will continue to reflect and work on myself. I have work to do. I always have, and I always will.
Okay.
It's giving ChatGPT wrote this for you.
Immediate thoughts. He mentioned not liking how it came out. To me, that because supposedly he had told the other Tom that he planned on, once this like season wrapped up in this cycle, that he was going to tell Ariana and let the public know about him and this whole Raquel thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what that gives me, is like him just, he's more upset about how it came out kind of thing. And so at that, yeah.
It's not showing remorse for what he did. It's showing remorse for how it played out. And that's the key difference. Obviously, here's the thing. Anything that Tom and Raquel say right now, we're not going to be happy with. Like, they could literally say anything and we would pick it apart. So but they have to say something.
Yeah.
I hope that he was like this sincere and genuine when speaking to Ariana, but we know that that's not the case. So it's just contradictory to what's already come out. Apparently, like when Ariana did confront him about this, he was gaslighting. He was saying, I didn't want to tell you because of your mental health position.
Yeah, like her grandmother passed away. Yeah.
Your grandma died. Like, just a bunch of gaslighting and a bunch of excuses, but not a lot of remorse for the action itself. And not a lot of like respect for what she was feeling or how disrespectful he was.
Yeah.
Raquel's statement was along the same lines, just talked a little bit more about therapy. And then she did mention that she's not a victim, but she has been like receiving death threats and blah, blah, blah. Also not okay. I just don't think anyone should be sending anyone death threats regarding.
That's why I think the whole fandom stan thing, it gets like, we're getting out of control. Like, I think that
it's definitely toxic.
Yeah, we get involved. Like, these people put their lives out on television. Like, they're opening themselves up for a degree of introspection and people giving opinions on their lives. Yes. But realize, I think a lot of times what the TV screen or the phone screen does for people is it takes the humanity out of it, as we just see them as characters and, attack them and death threats and all this stuff. And we're forgetting that like these are actually people. And although they are, some form of their lives is dramatized for TV, they're still real people. These are still their actual lives. And you're not just threatening the death of a character, you're threatening the life of an actual human being, which I think is a whole other thing.
It's like, if this happened in your personal life, like in your friend group, you wouldn't be sending death threats. Well, I hope you wouldn't be. And if you were, maybe you should be the one in therapy. But like, you wouldn't be sending death threats to the person that cheated. You would just distance yourself, understand who they are as a person, and separate yourself from them. Or, draw that line of trust. It's not, no one should be sending anyone death threats. That is very far for an affair. No one killed anyone. They had sex multiple times for a year.
And Mama Vanderpump made a statement to the effect of like,
Lisa said something.
She said to the effect of, look, these kids have been doing this shit since the beginning of Vanderpump. Is it a little bit different this time around? Because yes, he's like 42. Yes, they've been in a relationship for 10 years, but like, they didn't kill anybody. They had an affair.
Yeah.
Like, to an extent of like, we kind of need to chill a little bit. Like, was it messed up? Was it not right? Absolutely. But like, this, death threats and talking crap about his businesses and all these things are like, it's excessive. And you mentioned
also this affects Vanderpump. Like this affects
absolutely.
Lisa because
Absolutely.
these are her businesses at the end of the day.
Yeah, because she's partners.
She's not going to be like, yeah, fuck Tom. Like he is the face of multiple businesses that she's partnered in.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so
you mentioned
she also has to like
reel it in.
Yeah, just reel it in. And again, like the best thing that anyone can do for anyone right now is just pump up Ariana so fucking hard. Like, if Ariana posts an Instagram photo, like you all better like it and you better come at her with the same energy of like support of like, you're so hot, you're a queen, an icon, we're obsessed with you, as you've been coming for Sandoval and Raquel in a negative way. It's a more conducive environment to build up Ariana than to tear down Tom and Raquel. It's gonna blow up, and their lives are already blowing up. Like, we'll just let it play out. We don't need to do anything to make it worse.
Yeah, and can I just make a correction? Her real name is Rachel, by the way.
Oh my god, I think we should refer to her as Rachel from now on. Like, at what point? I would love to just know at what point do you go from Rachel to Raquel, where you're like, actually, I'm rebranding and I'm now Raquel. What did her parents say? Like, does she have siblings? Does her grandma call her Raquel?
I think it's funny that she did it just because it kind of just plays into this whole like facade character. But if I'm going to be honest, and I was, trying to create a public image for myself, and like I had Rachel and then Raquel, like Raquel is much more, I don't want to use the word exotic, but it's much more unique. You're not just another Rachel. So like, I don't blame her for that, but it's just funny that of course this comes out at the same time as all this other stuff. And it's just like, you're just nothing but shadiness.
Yeah. I mean, and to be fair, like Lala is obviously like, her name's not Lala, her name's Lauren, and she goes by Lala. So it's like, but that's like a nickname more where like Raquel just changed her name. You know what I'm saying? Like, Raquel's not a nickname for Rachel. It's just a different version.
Well, I guess couldn't you spell Raquel the way you spell Rachel and just put an accent?
I mean, no. CH, Justin. Ch.
But maybe
my mom would call you out for that.
Some weird pronunciation. Anna, maybe there's a weird pronunciation. And she pronounces it Raquel. Okay, Anna? I'm just saying.
Yeah, maybe someone from a different country was like, oh, what's your name? And she said Rachel. And they were like, oh, Raquel. Because they don't know how to say the ch, because that's like specific to American English.
I can totally
see Justin, I can see your point. Okay. So obviously that their letters came out, blah, blah, blah. Next big bombshell we got. Sheena apparently allegedly gave Rachel a black eye when she found out the news.
Yeah.
Allegedly. So story there is they were out at a bar when Ariana found out. So it was right after Sheena and Rachel did Watch What Happens Live. They went out afterwards.
In New York. Yeah.
And Ariana, in New York, Ariana calls Rachel immediately when she finds out. And Sheena can see that Rachel's like pacing around on the phone, and Sheena goes up to her and goes, who are you talking to? Like, why is it so serious? And she a little too casually says to Sheena, Tom and I have been having a 7-month affair.
And Ariana found out.
We don't really know what Sheena's true reaction was. I mean, I can imagine she was like screaming because Sheena's already unhinged. I would be screaming if like one of my best friends told me about one of our mutual best friends' husbands. I'd be like, what the actual fuck are you telling me right now? Like, who are you? I have to leave immediately. Like, I would be freaking out, but I don't think that I would like resort to a punch. Sheena's lawyers are saying she never punched Rachel.
Supposedly, like, that's maybe through the phone, like through her phone in the gutter or
through
something
her phone, and that's like what hit her.
Either
way, like we saw the photos of Rachel's eye. Does it look like a black eye? No, that might be lighting. Like it looks like she needs some concealer. Like she has bags under her eyes from like not sleeping because she's carrying this terrible secret. But she does have the cut above her eye and the eyebrow. So we just don't know how that came about. But it's pretty telling that I don't think Sheena, if she really did punch her, would try to say that she didn't. I feel like she would own up to it and say, yeah, I was pissed, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it would almost be something that Sheena would brag about in a weird way, being like, of
That's
course
her.
I hit her. Like, that's my best friend, you know, that I'm not sure that I would believe that she fully punched her in the face, but I do think maybe like she shoved her and she hit her face, or like, a phone was thrown. I don't know. So we don't know, but it's telling that Sheena's people are saying that, and that her PR team dropped her pretty much right after Sheena's lawyers came and said, like, what proof do you have that this was Sheena?
Yeah, exactly. Like the fact that your PR spin team is like, sorry, bruh, we can't spin this shit. Like you
gotta go.
That says a lot.
Yeah. It like that's the most telling of it all. And the fact that like no one's really rushing to Rachel's side of like that was also at the bar. Like you're in a public place, you know, like there had to have been witnesses that would have said, come forward and said something like, hey. But everyone is speculating that the reason that she went so hard to get the restraining order, because I think restraining orders sometimes are like thrown around a little too loosely. Like if someone punches you because you cheated on whatever, it's like that was not like deserved, but you know why you were punched. Like unless Sheena was like consistently harassing her, being like, I'm gonna come to your house and do something to you, that would result in a restraining order, or they were stalking her or whatever. But a one time, like out of obviously like emotion and a rash decision, I don't know if that would warrant for me like a full restraining order, but you know, whatever makes you feel safe. But people are saying that it's because she doesn't want to go to the reunion, and her having this restraining order would
make it I was literally going to say that. I feel like this is like her setting it up so she doesn't have to show up in person or something, because obviously everybody's talking about, okay, Andy Cohen's going to do the whole reunion special, like how's that going to play out and all this shit. So I think she's laying the foundation for her to cop out, which you know, if I was her, I don't think I would want to show my face.
Yeah, but do you know what that means if you don't go to the reunion? Like it's in your contract. If you are not at the reunion, you are fired. Like you are contracted to go to that reunion. So that's why she would have to, that's how it is for like every Bravo show. You can't just decide like, oh, this was and they have to do that because this happens in many other shows where like something, this huge blows up and like, there's always going to be one person on the hot seat, and that one person is always going to try to get out of that. Like we, as any normal human being would, you know, like, oh, I don't want to sit on national TV and get questioned for my wrongful actions, and like, doesn't paint me in a good light, and that's really uncomfortable. So this was like her attempt to not have to go, to be able to break contract for a legal reason, for a safety reason. So we'll see. But I think like you can be zoomed in. I think if anyone shouldn't in this situation, like shouldn't come, it would be Sheena. Like Sheena, you stay home because we want to hear from Rachel. You know? So I don't know if that's going to work out for her, if that's just going to be another like headache that she's willingly putting herself through during this whole thing. But they've been filming. That's how they've been filming, and Rachel and Tom kiss on camera, which is just so bold and brazen.
Shut up. Like I did not know that.
Yes. Yeah. So he was paparazzi'd like going into her apartment like Monday night or something. And they were going to film, and they have to like film a scene talking together. They've picked up the cameras. We're going to see it in this season. Picked up the cameras to talk to them about it, and apparently they kissed on camera. They are holding true in the fact that they're in love, and that they've been in love for a while.
Yeah, here's the thing. So this is where things.
But Rachel.
This is where things start to not add up for me. Is they're supposedly in love, they want to like start a relationship together, but then there was this whole storyline about her sending out letters to people because she said she was filmed without consent, or screen recorded their FaceTime calls without consent, and that she would never do this. And so now I'm just like, okay, is Sandoval that like that creepy to where, somebody that he loves, he would film without letting them know? Or did she actually know that they were being filmed, but she's just trying to track it back? Like, it's just like, I don't know.
I did have that same question. So, okay, we listened to Kristen Doute's podcast, and then I quickly listened to Christina's podcast just came out today with Kristen and Lala. Kristen's definitely gives more information. Sheena, because she's contracted with the show, the producers had to okay what they were talking about. And a lot of it got cut out. So we don't really get anything from Sheena's. It's just more of can't believe this happened. And then they kind of talk about Lala's experience with Randall and how it's similar or it's not similar or whatever. But Kristen's episode, since she's not on the show, she's not contracted to not say anything. So she was able to give a little bit more information. She's the one that shared the Ariana. So at Tom's show, this is the full, the true story of how Ariana found out.
Yeah.
Tom's show, his phone fell out of his pocket. A mutual friend handed it to Ariana for safekeeping. Something in her gut, because a woman's intuition always knows, something in her gut told her to look at it. And she's not someone that looks at Tom's phone. She went to his photo albums and found the screen recording of Raquel diddling, and that's what was
use the word diddling
shown. Yeah, I don't know what else to say that's appropriate. What would you say? I don't know what to say that's appropriate. It's a diddle, okay? She was diddly doo-dah-day on FaceTime. And Tom recorded it on screen record and saved it in his camera roll. Tom, there are literally private albums that you can have, sir. You are so dumb.
Oh, man.
Also, but that is a valid point from Rachel. Did she give consent to being recorded?
No,
that is a
absolutely.
really valid concern, and that is really scary if not. And if you didn't, and this person did that to you, and you're still saying you're in love with him, you are kind of dumb.
Yeah, well, and then they're all getting into what I think she's afraid of is the videos being used for a while. This whole revenge porn thing started becoming a thing where people would post videos of their exes and stuff like that.
I just learned about revenge porn. People are
super
savages.
fucked
That's
up.
So mean.
Super fucked up. Yeah.
Oh my god.
To have intimate things like that put out in public. So I understand her concern, and I understand her putting out these I don't know if you call them cease and assist orders of you cannot share this stuff, which, I totally get it. It just didn't make sense with the whole storyline that her and Sandoval are in love, and that just didn't add up.
But the best content ever that came out of this whole thing is Lala's Instagram story where she opened
email it to Daryl.
This piece, and she was like, send it to Daryl.
Send it to Daryl. Don't send it to me. I cried.
Screaming. I've watched it probably 8 times. I think it's the best comedic performance of our generation. Send it to Daryl. I am dead. We all just know Lala's lawyer's name casually. Send it to Daryl. I'm gonna use that in my everyday lingo now. Whenever I'm annoyed or whenever someone's telling me something, I'm just gonna send it to Daryl.
Is that gonna be a new thing? Just send it to Daryl.
Yeah, for sure. Send it to Daryl. I don't want to deal. So that was great, but that is a really valid concern if that was screen recorded without her consent, and it's wild that she would want to continue a relationship with this man's who already has. So on Kristen's podcast, she had said at least 2 other girls, she's pretty confident.
Yeah.
99% sure that this that he was doing the same thing with them. So it's Rachel, come on. You're having an affair with him. He's not married, but he's in a long-term partnership, 10 years. They just recently bought a house, and this is your best friend's partner. Okay. Yeah. One huge obvious red flag. But too, like, don't you think if he's doing it with you, he's doing it with so many other people? He's 41 on a cover band with way too much like plastic surgery or filler or something. And you think he's like all in his right mind right now? You think he seems like a good partner? LOL. Also, people have been doing like deep dives on Raquel's Instagram, and she's been using the lightning bolt emoji in like almost all of her captions. And like in reference to their lightning bolt necklaces.
Yeah.
And she's even like Ariana's like commented on her post being like, "You're hot," or like "so cute" or something, and she'll like reply with the lightning bolt emoji.
See,
like,
I think
how convoluted are you?
This whole situation now is, I think people are gonna go back and start watching this season, like they're going through her old photos and stuff like that, and be watching everything with such a fine-tooth comb of like, oh,
Yeah.
there was a hint there, there's a hint there. Yeah. And I think it's gonna be interesting for people to be watching this current season now knowing what they know. Because it's like having like knowing the future while you watch something.
Yeah.
And knowing how it's gonna end.
Like Kristen Downey said this literally twice on her podcast and then on Sheena's podcast. Yeah. She compared it to when you watch Shutter Island and that movie and you see it the first time and you're like, what's going on? And then when you watch it the second time, you watch it through a new lens of like knowing what you know now. Yeah. And saying that that's going to be the same thing that she's going to start doing with this season of Vanderpump, that she thinks a lot of fans are going to go back and start again and rewatch knowing what we know now and see like if there's anything that we can pull through. Another interesting fact was that Tom Schwartz was not at Coachella. So it is being thought that whoever like saw Rachel making out with
said the wrong Tom
at Coachella said the wrong Tom, because I mean, Tom and Tom, like no one knows the difference. And they have the same letter, last name too. So it's even harder.
Yeah.
So they just got so lucky there that someone was dumb and didn't know who it actually was.
Yeah.
Not dumb, was unknowing, because you're not dumb if you don't follow Vanderpump rules. Someone was unknowing of which Tom it was. So they just got really lucky there. So if that's true, if it was actually Sandoval that she was making out with at Coachella, that's been a year now. That's not 7 months. So I wonder why they landed on July. Like what?
And in public.
Maybe because, and in public. Maybe because there's something that like happened between Tom and Ariana that we don't know between like April and July, that it would have been even more fucked up if he did it during that time, you know? So maybe we'll like come to see why he said July.
I wonder if that would be
like,
the
why
time
would they
where
land on July?
Maybe that's in the time in which she lost like either her dog, I think it was, or her grandmother or something like that.
Her grandma or something. Yeah. Like, oh, you did that to me like during that time. Or like they just made out once at Coachella. They never like said anything. They never did anything again until July. That could also be a possibility. But like, Rachel, stop making out with your friends' mans. Whether it's Schwartz or Sandoval, like go outside the group. It just shows her true colors. Like she's just a groupie. She's just a fan of the show. And she doesn't really care about these girls. She just wants to like make her way through all the guys. So now she's made out with James, Schwartz, and Sandoval, which is just
wow. You know, this is not me harping, but there's always that like one person in the group who's been through the group. If you know what I mean.
There always is. And like sometimes it's like harmless because it's not anyone else's man, so it's just like funny. But in this case, like everyone else's man. It's like, please just sit down. Stop doing that. Like date a man outside of it and like be confident in your own self. It just at the end of the day shows how insecure she is, that she feels that to be relevant she has to attach herself to these men, which you know is sad. But should have started therapy after you made out with Tom at Coachella, okay? Not the Friday that everyone found out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then I think like the last recent thing is Tom showing up to the house with Ariana there and all of their friends, and supposedly with everyone there, and he was approached by some of the mutual friends. It was like, hey, like, you know, maybe you should have like somebody, a mediator, kind of say, you know, when she's not here, so that because she like really doesn't want to see you. And instead of just being kind of
Yeah.
gracious and be like, you know what, I totally get that. I hurt her, my bad. I guess supposedly it was more of like, this is my house too. I deserve to be here. Like, bro, read the room.
I mean, unfortunately, I think in a sick, twisted way, he's really enjoying this time because he's getting a lot of attention, and that's all at the end of the day that he really wants and needs. He's always like been in the group like the one that needs the most attention with just like, remember when they opened, okay, this is so wild, but like the last Vanderpump episode that I watched was when they opened Tom Tom, and he arrived like he got like this motorcycle with like a little sidecar thing and like got this full outfit and like a helmet, and then made Schwartz like, he also got Schwartz a helmet, but it was like less than, and he made Schwartz sit in like the small one, and he like rode up on his motorcycle, and like that's how they like opened it. And I'm like, you've just always needed so much attention that it's not surprising that you're getting it in different forms from all over. Yeah.
You know what that's giving me?
Yes. It's giving little tiny dick energy. Okay. There's nothing more obvious than you have a little tiny pito if you're acting as this. Okay, Tom? So let's just think about that. We all know your secret now.
Oh,
He's
man.
like getting photographed walking into therapy with like a smile on his face. It's like, sir, I guess you don't need to frown, whatever. You're having your photo taken. I'm sure that's alarming, but he just looks like he's enjoying his time in the spotlight, and he's like playing up the most hated man in America. It's like, don't flatter yourself. I hate a lot more men than I hate you, Tom Sandoval. Like, I don't hate, like, I don't, beyond like me doing this podcast, you're not in my like daily thought process. So you're not the most hated man in America. Like, let's talk about Harvey Weinstein, like, let's go move over there. Don't flatter yourself in that way. But that's how he feels. He likes the attention, and it's upsetting. And I hope Ariana has already written her thank you letter, has burned all of her photos with him, and staged her home to get his energy out.
Absolutely. Started listening to Marvin's Room on repeat.
Yeah. Has Marvin's Room on repeat through the speakers. Maybe like invited over a priest to do like a resurrection, like make sure the space is cleared. Just like really cleansing herself of Tom's energy in general so that she can now thrive. And she can open her sandwich shop, which I'm not really sure why we keep talking about a sandwich shop, but I just keep on hearing like everyone's like, oh, now she gets to open her sandwich shop, which I didn't know that was like a dream of hers. I like, because again, you don't watch the show, but still, like, I know so much about this and I don't even watch this show. That's how much of a cultural reset this is.
Wow.
Ariana did come back to Instagram. She reactivated her Instagram account.
Wait, that must have happened just like today then.
It happened yesterday. Let me find it. Let me see if she comes up. Okay, yeah. She reactivated it. She's not posted anything. Her last post is just like was on March 1st, and it's just like a promo for the new season. And she wrote like the many moods of Pump Rules, like episode 4 airing tonight.
Wait, has she done the typical thing of deleting all photos of the ex?
Yeah, there are no photos of Sandoval on here. Yeah, none. Oh wait. Nope, none.
Damn.
So
erased.
He's erased. And I hope, let's see, I don't think Raquel's posted anything, just her statements. Oh, she posted this 2 days ago. Besides the indefensible circumstances surrounding our relationship, my feelings for Tom have always been sincere and born out of a loving friendship. Knowing how many people we hurt, I need to understand my choices and learn to make better ones. I need to take care of my health, work on my self-growth, and take time to be okay with being alone. I care for Tom, and I don't want to label anything or predict what lies ahead. Right now, I need to heal.
I call Cat.
Here's the thing, Rachel.
Call Cat.
Just a little too late, sweetie. I'm just a little concerned that you're just coming to these realizations. Oh, one other thing to mention was that Kristen said that Schwartz found out about a month before it got out. And he was very anxious that he was trying to get Scandoval to tell Ariana, and Sandoval was putting it off saying like, oh, I'm going to wait until after all the promos and stuff. So Schwartz, we weren't sure if he knew the whole time or for a short amount of time. He's doing for about a month. So yeah, that's all that I have of updates.
That's all. And I'm sure, by the end of today, there'll be even more. But
I know. We're going to like close and I'm going to be like, what the fuck?
You guys just have to wait till next week, And just so that this is not the only thing we're going to be talking about. The Oscars are happening this weekend. So other things in pop culture are still occurring.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like this episode was necessary so that we don't have to continue the conversation into next week. That we can kind of like put a little pretty bow on it. This is what's happening, and now we can just watch the season play out, and we'll just report on, like how it plays out in that way. So now that we're all caught up, we don't have to like re-dive into this a week late.
I have to figure out if I even
leave room for.
Yeah, I have to figure out if I even have Bravo TV because I legitimately, I don't think I've ever watched a Bravo show.
Do you have YouTube TV? Because that's where I can see it. YouTube TV.
I don't have that hookup.
You know what? I'm sure people are like recording it and putting it on the internet.
That's true. So
I'll just let you know.
I'm sure you will.
But yeah, next week we'll have better things to talk about. Oscars, like you said, the Oscars are landing on Gonzo's birthday, so I don't know that I will be able to watch. I don't think that that's what Gonzo wants to watch on his birthday.
No, you don't think so?
Unfortunately, he doesn't care about what anyone's wearing on the red carpet.
Whoa. Oh, that's actually big news. It's not a red carpet this year.
What is it?
It's champagne colored.
Is it pink?
No, champagne.
Oh, champagne. You know what? It's about time because the red carpet, like, really just goes against what the people are wearing. Like, it just clashes.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm excited for the champagne colored carpet.
For a champagne carpet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we have, like, obviously, Page 6 reported that the Kardashians aren't going to be invited to the Met Gala. Lots of things to cover.
Interesting.
So, let us know if you liked this little extra bonus episode. As Justin knows, I would get on every day and speak to you guys, but he reels me in. So I was really excited that he said he would do this. So maybe, Justin, future we could do this more. How fun has this been?
Maybe. It honestly all depends on the work schedule because, I'm about to go walk Albus in the rain and then I'll come back and edit this real quick and give the people what we want as soon as possible. So I'm planning on posting this like today.
Yeah, like we don't need to edit anything. Like we're just gonna
raw.
throw it up. So we'll like I'll like post it on our story. And if you know, you know. If you listen, you listen. If you care, you care. That's what we'll leave you with.
Yep.
Okay, well, I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. Go wish Gonzo a happy birthday on Sunday. Have fun walking Albus in the rain. Give him big snugs for me.
I will.
Tell Jackie I love her. And ta-ta for now.
Toodaloo. I don't know why I said toodaloo. That was not.
I like a toodaloo. I'm here for a toodaloo. Maybe that should be our new tagline. Ciao.
Later.